Hi, and very good evening, everybody. Welcome to this very, very special series which we start off today, the Sport On series, along with friends of mine, Nilesh and Rasika Kulkarni from IISM, the International Institute of Sports Management. One of its kind, a unique pioneering institute of our country, which offers specialized courses in sports management. And when Nilesh and me started chatting about uh, can we do something for sports marketing in our country and sporting events in our country, and when we were discussing our collaboration, popped up the idea that can we do a special series and bring in some great personalities, experts from the sports and sporting events arena? And that's when the idea of the Sport On series came out. And I'm very glad to be hosting this for you and for ISM. Yes, my name is Shaju Ignatius. I've been in the events and experiential business and as well as content creation for 2 decades and plus. I just love to create. I love to dream and to create. And therefore, it's going to be a pleasure for me to bring to you various dreamers and achievers and successful personalities in the events, experiential marketing, and more importantly, the sporting business of our country. And to start off this episode today, oh, we're going to come in every Friday now, okay? So look out for us every Friday, 6 p.m. The Sport On series will continue for the next couple of months or more as we all are safely tucked in at our homes and staying safe. Coming to today's episode, the first episode of the Sport On series, uh, who could it be? And I guess you guys already know who it is, right? He is a personality. He's a friend, of course, multi-talented, multifaceted. He's a producer, he's a director, he's a creative director, he's an entrepreneur, he's a mentor, he's a serial entrepreneur as well. He invests. One of the greatest or best orators of our country and creative minds. He's the managing director of Geometry and Compass, one of India's largest experiential marketing companies, Roshan Abbas. It's a pleasure for me to have our guest Roshan today for our first episode. And let me see, I can get Roshan into this conversation as we start off. And thank you for each one of you for joining us in today. I'm really grateful and thankful to you guys to joining us in today. On behalf of Nilesh and Rasika Kulkarni and the entire team of ISM, much gratitude. Okay. Hi Nilesh. Glad you're here as well. Hi Shushma. So Roshan, if you could send me an invite to join the chat, I'll get you in. Let me just invite Roshan. Okay. So Roshan's been a great friend, a friend to a lot of us. Hey Roshan,
Hey, how you doing?
all good Roshan. I couldn't stop. The lines just kept coming through.
You know what I must tell you. So I can tell everyone this because it'll be really funny. So, in everything that you said, right? I mean, okay, producer, director, orator, all this stuff. There's one thing that I can assure you I can never be, and which is why, in a strange way, I'm the most ironic person here. I can't play any sport. I just can't. I can barely swim. I can swing a bat occasionally, bus. Full stop. No scare. And this too, like I mean, I would be the last person you should ever take into your team at any point for any sport. I can be the commentator on any sport, but that's where it stops.
But you know what? You're one of the greatest sports I know. The greatest sporting minds. You're a great sport at heart and at life, Roshan.
Now, Shadu is just being sweet about this, and incidentally, you do
All love,
remember.
all fact, Roshan.
And you do remember that we connected actually the first time also because of sports only, right?
Yes, of course. In fact, that crossed my mind today. When I was just putting and said, okay, what do we talk, Roshan? And normally we always free flow. And I'm not a professional anchor. I've never done this. My first ever Insta live show, Roshan. So thank you for being on board with me on this one. I need you.
Not at all, buddy. Not at all. You're always
So
there.
so sorry, that did cross my mind. The first time we met was a sporting event. And
Yes,
what a
you are.
flashback. It was 2001, 2002, the CEAT Cricket Rating Awards.
Yeah, the CEAT awards were happening, and I remember that as an agency, Encompass had just come to Bombay. It had been just a couple of years, and we were just guys who wanted to go do stuff. And I remember that I think that time you were at Percept, were you right?
360 Times of India.
360.
It was
Right.
it was literally our first 3 months at 360. We were just setting up this event company at Times of India, right? And we were kids just setting up.
So 360 degrees and Encompass went and pitched to Mr. Goenka for CEAT Cricket Awards. And because I was a theatre guy, I wrote an awards night like a theatre night. And Mandira was a friend, so I said, Mandira will come and do this thing, and Gohar will come and do this thing. And I remember at that point in time on MTV, there were, I'm now, suddenly the name is slipping me, but Ramona. Ramona was a VJ.
Ramona, yes.
She said Ramona will be there. And
This was the Sunil Lulla days.
do you remember who the showstopper was?
How can we forget a Marathi Manus?
So there were actually two showstoppers in that show. One was, of course, Vikram Sake, who came and auditioned at my house, I think 2 times. And I think in the very first time I'd heard him, he was brilliant. But I was so greedy about hearing all his Sachin Tendulkar impressions and everything that I told him to come a second time. And then we became fast friends again, thanks to that show. But our final showstopper, last minute, I think maybe just last week, we got Priyanka Chopra to come and she did the finale, you remember?
Okay, so this needs refreshing because I've forgotten this one.
No, so she came and did that big flag number with Sabse Aage Hoge Hindustani. It was amazing. And that's the time when I think I saw her as a performer the first time. I was like, oh my God, she is going to be, I mean, those are such early days. But it was my first experience of doing a sports award night with the biggest of cricketers. I remember, I think PMG used to be involved in it.
Yes, Sunil Gavaskar's company, yeah.
Gavaskar used to be involved in it, and we were there. I was more as a show writer, and then later, because that same year I had to suddenly rush back because my sister wasn't well in Lucknow, and you guys took over. So I think it was one of the rare collaborations that ever happened between 2 event agencies, because normally they're all out to kill each other. So this was a great collaboration.
And really, I still recall that experience just got me to know you, the person, and your team, because like you said, never ever I had heard of any like 2 companies coming together with the same client. I remember the client asking us, I think I lost you there in between, Roshan, sorry. I remember the client asking us that, we like both of you. Hey, 360, hey, Encompass, we want both of you. Can you just jam up? And that was
And it's even today when I look at times around us, Shaju, I was just doing a little chat, and when you said about the sports management thing, I genuinely, and I want to tell everyone who's there, you've got such lovely questions below. Some people are talking about esports and setting up leagues and what they can do, and Shaju is the perfect person to tell you because his width of experience, along with Nilesh and I think the people at IISM, will be phenomenal. So whenever this course is out there, I genuinely feel that I can only tell you about sports ceremonies, but there is such a science and an art to doing sports now, management, and there's just so many aspects. I mean, whenever I meet up, Gaurav has introduced me to Prashant, and Prashant, has always been one of his friends who's been into sports management, or during the IPL time, when I used to just go to the BCCI and all the people I used to meet and the machinery and the way it operates. It's a different world altogether.
Absolutely. I mean, globally, right, the sporting events are the biggest, right, per se, whether you call it the FIFA World Cup or Olympics. These are what we call benchmark events to be managed. And thankfully, a few of us have been part of like ceremonies like yourself and us, like whether it's the Commonwealth Games, the IPL ceremonies, the South Asian Games, Afro-Asian, which happened here. So, we've been privileged and we were able to pull those through, I think, up to global standards in some format as well.
No, absolutely. I remember the Commonwealth is something that I think has gone down as Wizcraft's. I mean, Wizcraft's resume opens with the Commonwealth and then goes on to so many other things. But it was always, I mean, they were these things have all really. I think when event managers come together and we build great opening ceremonies, there is a joy to it, and there is a joy in just seeing nothing in my life can recreate the buzz of Salt Lake Stadium or Wankhede. And being in Wankhede and seeing a Sachin walk in, oh my goodness, and it's a surreal experience. So, कहीं नहीं होता boss. Shahrukh Khan के लिए हो सकता है, पर boss, it's different. I remember when my film was launching, I was there, because the team had gone and we were launching it at a KKR match in Calcutta.
Okay.
And just entering, I mean, as it is, Bengal is so passionate, and Calcutta
Sports.
KKR playing in Calcutta, you can imagine oh my goodness. Amazing.
Oh, they're sport fanatics and maniacs, right? From football to now what Shah Rukh has done with cricket there. So that's interesting. Roshan, before we get into the hardcore sporting thing, I just want to go back. Well, when you said you don't play a sport at all. So first, let me dig that in. Do you have a favorite sport?
So, I think India grows up on a staple diet of cricket, so I really love it. When I have enjoyed tennis tremendously. Many of my friends are big tennis fanatics. So
right.
People like Sathe, people like Sandhya Mridul, Saini, all of these people they're mad sport. Gaurav Kapoor, my brother. So and he's a walking, talking, ready, him, Harsha, statistic machines. They can give you, they're just brilliant.
On the tip of their fingers, they have information coming.
Even people, while I mean, Kochhar is more, Samir Kochhar is a great anchor and performer and stuff. But ये लोग कुछ लोग होते हैं, इनके सारे बात करो तो you understand कि इनकी नस-नस में, like मेरी नस-नस में theater है, right? I mean, you put me into a theater and I am alive. But it's like them with sports, or even, like my ex-partner Sukrit was with golf. I mean,
used to play golf.
If you're passionate about the sport, no, my goodness, you will be like, it's crazy. Yeah? What about you? What sports are you passionate about?
I'm passionate about sports. I just love any sport. And I think that's why I've kind of said, hey, Nilesh, let's do this just for the love of sports. The experience which I've been privileged to in events, especially sporting events. So I just love sports, and I've been... I think I lost you once again. I must tell you this incident.
No, I think the signal comes and goes occasionally nowadays. Everybody is, don't worry about it. The internet is...
Everybody is on Insta. Yeah. I must tell you this incident. When I was a 8-year-old kid or 10-year-old kid, I believe Germany was playing the World Cup FIFA final. And my parents tell me I took my white t-shirt, painted the flags of Germany on my t-shirt and stood there rooting for Germany.
Wow.
So that's the passion of sports, right? Sometimes it crosses boundaries, nations. It's just a love of the sport. So yes, I've been privileged to be part of various sporting events as well. And that translates, what I want to do. What about your kids, Roshan? Ayatul Arsalan, do they love sports? Do they follow clubs?
So my nephew is mad about football. I think he's a big, I even forget whether it's Barcelona or is it Man U or whatever, but he's just a football fanatic. My son is a big esports follower, and he's a big wrestling follower. I guess when he was growing up, maybe wrestling, but he knows his wrestlers and his wrestling inside out. My daughter does a little bit of gymnastics, and she does a lot of this, aerial silk right now. So I haven't seen her go after a sport, but she is, thanks to Shaheen, extremely athletic and, very, very light and very good with just aerobics and, acrobatics and stuff. She's doing well.
So aerobics, the sports and the fitness mindset, right? And coming to you took up fitness. You and Shaheen have taken up fitness and gone, 20 years younger? So that itself is...
Yeah, no, it's just this, that I mean, Shaju, you remember, you've known me so long, from 2001. I think in 2011, I was 4 kilos short of my century. I was 96 kilos. You would have...
That was your sporting...
You would have needed 2 Insta frames to film me.
I remember those. I remember that, Roshan.
I mean that was so that so you know, and I just at the age of 40, I suddenly started getting a whole bunch of just health issues, and Shaheen just turned to me and said, "This is nothing but fitness and a lack of fitness. You have talked your way through things. You can't talk your way through this." And I was like, okay, what can I do then? And I tried. I went and said, "Ye karte, wo karte." Shaju, you won't believe. At one point in time, I had given up to saying, "Chalo, we will go and get some of this chip chop number done. Do some surgery." And I mean, everybody in Bollywood was doing it. And something happened in my head, and I was like, "No, I'll go and do this on my own." And in 9 months, I lost 21 kilos, and all naturally. Just zipped my mouth, got onto a treadmill, exercise. I have Vilayat who lives with you in your building, right?
Yeah. That's
Vilayat
true.
is my trainer, but Vilayat is just, he's incredible. He's been able to push me, pull me back, do whatever. And I think that fitness gave me twice the energy. So half the time when people say I'm on Insta and webinars all the time, it's because of the energy I got.
And you said you don't follow any sport, fitness. Mind blowing.
So just, I wish physical fitness was just like a sport and you could go and do. I mean, I know there are challenges that happen and people do these TRX and I mean, there's that mud rush and all these other things that happen. But again, I mean, see, anything. I mean, today, me and Shaheen have both been doing an online fitness thing for 40 days. It's gone off brilliantly, but it's great because there's a sense of community, there's a routine, there are things you end up doing. So yeah, I think fitness really is just being healthy. Like I mean, when I finish this live, I've got to do an hour of something called I think it's called the Filthy 50.
Wow.
It's like I think some 10 exercises which you've got to do 50 of each, and that's 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, 50 into blah blah. So it's like I'm like, oh god, I got to do that.
Roshan, are you nearing that 50 figure very soon, if I remember right?
Man, it's Shaheen was planning a big party. It's in September this year, but I think it'll be, God forbid, it'll be virtual like this.
I'm definitely hopping into your place. I can walk in.
Of course.
So yeah, I'm going to take tips from you regarding that because I'm not too far away either. A few years and I'm there.
Yeah, Shaju, you are the Shaju and Rodney Barnes have been voted the most debonair men in events.
Sir.
It's true, you know it. I will not. I mean, it's just that, but it's always fun to see Shaju and spend time with him because again, the joy is that I think Shaju has made friends across everything. If I remember correctly, Shaju remind me. Remember when there was the Sahara wedding was on, you were in the middle playing cricket with all the cricketers and film stars also.
Like I said, privileged child. But I must mention, brands like Sahara, Hero, Jindal, with Sahara, I've actually got so many opportunities and, credit to my friend Simanto Roy, along, of course, with his father, Sarashri. The opportunities they have extended to sportsmen, sports bodies, of course, apart from cricket. So when I was consulting with them, also when I was with Percept, the amount of opportunities we got to create sporting events, including the Sahara Force India, I was kind of very integral part of it when Sahara went on board on a venture rather than just being a sponsor. So those are stories as well, which I will bring in the Sport On series in the future, of how brands and agencies and specialists got together to change the sporting horizon for us. That's interesting. But this is coming to you, Roshan. This is your episode. So tell me the life of Encompass. I mean, I want to take it from the Encompass events days and then take it to the sporting business of events which you got into, or your life with events. Even before Encompass, I'm sure you were very active as an events, and that's what a lot of our prospective students would like to know.
No, so because there's so many people who might be here because of them wanting to know more about sports and events, I will quickly fast forward to the first 10 years. I will fast forward, and actually even more because we started 96, 97 in Delhi, and it was more because I was from theatre. I had a whole bunch of friends who were from various things, somebody from radio, somebody from mass communication, and everybody came together and we decided that we would build the definitive creative event agency because we were known for our ideas and for our culture. I mean, even today, if you ask anyone, they will talk to you about saying Encompass ideas, Encompass culture. We make our missteps on 100 other things, but all this was something that went well. Sukrit was the one who took over as CEO of the agency, and I mean for the longest time, um, you know, I'm content in something sometimes get अच्छा हो रहा है, but he was the young gun who was always fiery and wanting to do more, and he was into sports. So I think our first foray into sports, in a sense, actually was when we started doing some work with Sahara, and we would do these small golf evenings. We would not do the tournament. We would do the celebration after, which was a regular event, but you got to meet more golfers. One thing
Sure.
led to another. We started doing a little more something there. And in this period of time, BIC came up as a track in Noida.
Noida,
And
yes.
suddenly Formula One was going to happen. And again, we did a very quick tie-up with an agency within WPP. 2008, we sold WPP. And that opened the world to us. So we could now choose between 400, 500 agencies globally and bring some of them on. So we actually did that. And in that, when we got these people together, we were able now to suddenly access multiple things. So we were able to access football and, you know, again, and Sukrit was very, very into football and wanted to sell football to brands. People almost would buy sometimes. But then Formula One happened, and for 3 years we actually worked and managed. I mean, when we did the Airtel, when Airtel, after the first year, Mr. Mittal was extremely keen that he felt that he paid for the India race but didn't get that kind of response, right? I mean, because they got ambushed by a couple of other brands. And that was something that was communicated to us. And Bharat Bambagle, who was the head of marketing at that time at Airtel, he actually called a whole bunch of agencies, and at the end of it, he called us and he said, I'm going to hand over the entire F1 account to you. And we were like, but, you know, he says, no, sports is about fans, and you know the fans. So I want an agency who knows कि fan excited to work in. And you know, it was such a beautiful brief. Shaju, within a period of 3 months, we signed on the Mercedes team with
Okay.
Airtel. We got fin placement on the vehicle. That also gave us very smartly the rights to shoot with Michael Schumacher.
Wow, you did that?
Yeah. Yes, Nico Rosberg and Michael Schumacher. And because the brief was open, we went to Aggie, and Aggie heads Taproot, one of the best creative agencies in India.
Agencies, yeah. Agnello, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Aggie wrote a commercial because that was the time when he had come out with that Har Ek Friend Zaruri Hota Hai. And Aggie turned and said that he came up with this line saying, let your heart beat.
Wow.
Right? So he said Formula One is about the heart beat going up. So he said, that's the line. And, you know, we signed the deal. We were in Silverstone shooting a commercial with Schumacher on the track. And I mean, it is one of the most beautiful commercials shot within 4 hours. 4 hours of time. It was so well planned. You know, it was absolutely brilliant. We came back and then we discovered Facebook. Facebook was new at that time. So we built this Facebook fan base and we were given a number to achieve, which in those days, you know, when people used to say, I want 10 lakh people. You used to get scared, yeah, 10 lakh subscribers on Facebook. We ended up, I think, if I'm not mistaken, memory serves me right, 17 lakh people.
Wow.
And then managing the VIP experience, managing the fan experience, all of those things. And we built a team from scratch. So, you know, we would get everyone to work with us. In fact, at that point in time, I remember Mohammed Bhai helped us from Cineyu.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of artists came together and we had, if I remember correctly, at that time, we had Dallaire, we had KK, Leslie Lewis did the theme song. I wrote the song.
Of course.
And that was it. So that's how we got into Formula One, and it was a brilliant season. And in those days, imagine a billing of about $3 million.
Now we know where the value came from as well, right? And more. Of course, but what an opportunity. And you took it completely on, yeah? You guys took it on completely and took it.
Everything. The only thing that we didn't know was what was the fee to be charged, because event managers get so excited by the idea. And please, to anybody who wants to join this, know your fees, know your business. Don't do things just for passion, because kabhi kabhar paisa bhi chahiye hota hai, particularly in COVID kind of times. But it's just important to know. So
And
just do it.
and know your right pricing to pitch, right? Sometimes when you do these international brand managements, the expectation will be far more than what you think you're pitching for
No,
sometimes.
Shaju, we have built a culture of हो जाएगा. We have built a जुगाड़ culture, and sports में जुगाड़ culture नहीं चलता.
बिल्कुल नहीं. It's
So
by
this
the
is what,
second. It's
yeah,
by the minute, everything.
I'm telling you that the shot with Schumacher was rehearsed 10 times before with a dummy who was his height, his color, because we knew the value of his time. They will even check the clothes he's wearing, that God forbid he gets injured. In our IPL work, do you know that the IPL contract has a clause which says, if after the end of the ceremony that you perform, and we normally perform a ceremony, opening ceremony just before a match, it says that if there is a nail on the ground and that injures the player, you are liable.
That's true. Absolutely. I've read about that one. Yes.
People don't realize this. People feel, 50
Clear कर
runs,
लो हो जाएगा.
trophy आ गई, a captain आ गया, confetti चली गई. Guys, the insurance of a sports person, you know what it is? It's crazy. And these are the things that you need to work around, and you've got to be extremely careful. Very, very, the jugaad of a normal event ना कि जनता आ जाएगी, नहीं होता बस.
I think that's a big, yeah, I think that's a big change what you rightly brought. In a regular event, stage events or awards, what is in front of stage is what you really care for. Piche stage pe, I'm sure you and I have seen scenes what happens at the back.
Oh my God, yes.
But in sporting events, everything is right there because your audience is more or less 360 around you. One micro, mini, small mistake.
So true, and that's what you said. When we talk of 360-degree experience, that's a true 360 because you're immersed. You're inside a stadium. You can't. I remember once we made a pitch for an ISL event, and Lydia was sitting there from Star, and she was very sweet, but she was so sharp. So she just turned and said, "Guys, have you looked at the opening of the Cochin Stadium?" And we were like, "What do you mean?" And she said that the props that you have made are too big to enter the gate. She knew the gate.
That's right, right.
And event में आप सोचते हो, अरे क्या करेंगे? We'll break it into two, we'll assemble it. But you've got 10 minutes in and out. What will you do?
Right. The dynamics are completely different.
Absolutely.
Completely.
The fact that next to the playing field, you will be rehearsing your show in a separate field. The fact that you cannot put a stage beyond a certain weight, because if you do, and the grass gets damaged, the turf gets damaged, my God, look at you and I will be in jail. There'll be nothing left.
Yeah, then it's no longer about your fees or your money. You're liable to much more. It's almost the country's revenue in some form, yeah.
And people need to understand that while it looks big that there'll be a $2 million opening ceremony or a $5 million opening ceremony, yes, but the concentrated synchronicity that you require between hundreds of people is something unbelievable. I remember that when we did IPL 10 after the whole issue at IPL 8 that happened with us. No, and it's an incredible story because I will say this, that our team at that point in time, led by Chanda and multiple people, everybody had said that we have a point to prove because we failed at a ceremony, and that's another story, as you know. So,
in fact, I want you to say this. So, first of all, I envy you more, Roshan, of Michael Schumacher. One of my gods.
I have a picture with it somewhere. I'll have to find it now.
So that's one. I'll come to you on that later. But tell us about your IPL opening ceremonies, because you had it twice, right, back to back almost, and we've all heard various behind the scenes stories. Give us a little insight. I'm sure our audience would like to know more as well.
So guys, we were doing IPL 8 and IPL 10. IPL 8, I remember we went to Calcutta and we pitched, and there was the entire committee, and we had actually pitched IPL before and during the Lalit Modi time, and they had really loved our ideas, but our lack of experience and having never done large format played against us. So we didn't get it, but we kept going back and kept going back and kept going back. And finally in IPL 8, when it was in Calcutta, the one-line idea was, how about doing a ceremony which is meant to be about a game played on land, on water? Now see, it's a creative. What do you mean? So we said no. There's Nico Park, and the park has got a water park. And
That's a
in the
water.
yeah, in a water park, we can bring barges, and then we could just get the captains all on one barge, and like the people are listening, their hearts are around saying, "What is the barge?" And we were like, we were young, genuinely young people filled with ideas. Ye karenge, wo karenge, but we won over everyone. And then we were told that no, Nico Park will not give you permission. Now we went back to the drawing board, came up with an idea, and we ended up at Salt Lake Stadium, which was actually undergoing repair, or there was something going on. Now, the classic mistake you make when you have done too many indoor events, you stop thinking about some of the outdoor elements. And it wasn't that we didn't know it rains in Calcutta at the time. Again, as a typical event manager, your presumption is, nahi barsega. Right now, and we had made arrangements. There was a mass cast that was being rehearsed. So to everybody who's there, while you might have a big dancer in the middle, you'll have a mass cast which will be rehearsing for days on end because they need to get entries, exits. They're the ones who fill the stadium and make it look.
And they're in thousands, right? Unlike stage events where you have 100 dancers, they're in thousands, sometimes 10,000, 15,000 dancers.
And when these people all come together, everyone gets hyper excited and feels that, oh, it's great, but it's a lot of hard work. We had, I remember Farhan Akhtar performing, we had Ritik, we had Anushka, and we had Preetam, and all this was going on, and everybody had helped put it together because this was the first time we were doing a big ceremonies, and I was actually show director, and I was standing on the console, and the day before it rained. And when it rained, we told the people at BCCI saying, boss, tomorrow it's not going to look like this will happen. And we started making plans of how to do it in an indoor place. Oh. And everybody turned and said, listen, this people may not watch. So everybody said, let us try to do it. Lo and behold, the ceremony was supposed to happen, say at 6 p.m. At 4, it started raining. And the day before it had drizzled, this day it rained and rained and rained so much that when it stopped raining, there was still half an hour before the actual ceremony was meant to start. And so everybody said, can you make it happen in half an hour? Here is where, again, I will advise everyone. And I know your heart as an Indian says, man, this is India's ceremony, karna hai. But as an event person or as a sporting person, you must know, Shahid Kapoor was also performing. And we were like, this water will not clear. My staff and everybody individually was on the ground taking off their shirts and soaking them in water to get the water out. Because again, see, now you turn and say we should have had super soakers. There were super soakers, but you couldn't soak even this much. There should be water drainage. But the stadium had it, but it was overflowing. So
it was a washout. It was a washout situation to all practical purposes.
So we should have called the ceremony a washout and not done the ceremony. The issue was everybody was pressuring and everybody, even Ritik was even saying, come, let's do it. And we were all like, let's do it. And in that, the LEDs stopped working during the show. Some parts of the stage wouldn't happen. I couldn't do the march past because I didn't want so many children. No, I didn't want so many children on the play area because what if there's an electric wire? There's so much things going on in my head.
Safety first.
And safety first. So in safety first, and in an environment which was compromised from a 10 to a 2, we pulled it off. But pulling it off is not enough because you do not run a ceremony with a subtitle saying, sorry guys, this is screwed up below. And we got a lot of slack for it. We braved it and said, okay, no problem. And I remember I left from Calcutta, and one day after was the EMA convention, and I was genuinely sitting there saying there was so much that we wanted to do and we couldn't.
Oh, Roshan, I remember this. I was at EMA in Delhi, and you came back from there. My hair stands because I remember seeing you completely.
Many people had advised me saying, why don't you go home? I said, no. We didn't do anything wrong. We did our best, and we will be and we caught, even today at Encompass, we call it the miracle at Salt Lake because pulling it off was enough. Now I know it was not a quality ceremony. Shahid slave, everything that could go wrong, all these things happened. Saif's prompter didn't. There were so many issues going wrong. Happened. We come back, and a year later, again, Sukrit said, let's pitch. And I was like, no. And he was like, no, we'll pitch again. And again, I mean, you've got to give people their due. He pitched and pitched. And for 1 year, we were almost told that, how can you even show your face? And we were like, no, we are here. And the next year again, we went. And the next year, our idea was really good. And this was year 10. And after listening to our idea, everyone turned and said, great idea. What if you got to do this 10 times? We were like, what?
Oh, that was the year when you had multi-ceremonies, right? Not one opening ceremony.
So they said it's IPL 10. It's happening in 8 ceremonies. Can you do 8 opening ceremonies? I mean, Shaju, I remember I met Sabas that evening at the Women's Day Awards that were happening, because this is around March, right? I mean, normally April is when you end up.
April is when opening, yeah, IPL.
8th March, there is the Women's Day, and I met Sabas, and Sabas had got to know that we had got it. So when I met him, I said, Sabas, we got it. And he says, I don't know whether to say commiserations or congratulations.
It's like all the best.
And then we just worked. Then we just worked our butt off. The teams worked their butt off. Everybody put their heads together. We had Nazif from BTOS coming in. We had Kwan. We had stage managers. We had backstage management teams, Encompass, everybody. And, we pulled off 8 without a single hitch, without one thing going wrong, because we had learned. No, and this is where it's only about planning. And the
conviction, Roshan, and the conviction and the guts to come back, after an experience which was.
But doesn't sport teach you that first? Sport is the first place to teach you. You'll have a bad day, but you can come back. But I cannot tell you, if you don't have a great backstage crew, if you do not have a great planning of how to remove and put in a set, if you do not decide which actor works well and which does not, if you decide, and Gaurav came and hosted, and I remember Shivani hosted, and multiple people hosted those ceremonies. But it was, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps now thinking of the fact of what we managed to do. But it was just planning. Ceremonies are about great ideas, but if you think a normal event takes planning of X, multiply that by 5X.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. You know how I've been groomed, right? Like a screwdriver screws in by my godfather, Virav Sarkari. Sir Virav Sarkari, I should call him, because he's a planner to the T. And like I said, I've been with him for 7 years at Viscraft. And even to date, I go back to his planning sheet even now. So when he called me back for the Commonwealth Games, and I remember that moment, I said, come what may, I have to come back. So I actually took a special off from the Sahara understanding. And I parked myself in Delhi. Delhi where I normally don't spend more than 2-3 days, we love our Mumbai. So I spent 4 months in Delhi during the Commonwealth Games. And I must bring this input in because you're talking ceremonies. Out of those 4 months, 3 months we were just battling. Because similar what you happened in Kolkata, it was pouring in Delhi, very unlike. And the stadium was not a stadium, it was a mucked up ground. So that's great. Roshan, we have a lot of students who might probably want to have some few questions or queries here. Let's pick that up as we continue our conversation. And you are better at this, right, than me?
I'm actually trying to do that, because that's why I put on my glasses, guys. I'm sorry, I'm now old, as you can realize, as both of us are there. So, yeah, Nilesh, as you rightly said, yeah, learning from failure is a part of life. Navneet is there. Hey, Navneet, good to see you. Rima, everyone, lovely to see all of you guys there.
My mate Sumit is there, yeah. So some good old friends are all joined in this chat, yeah.
My God, Sumit, so good to see you, my friend. We have a chat pending, Sumit. If you remember, you disappeared on me. Gunjan, thank you again. Yes, to everybody else who's there, and my son is saying he's graduating, and I have to go and see that ceremony as well. So by the way, after we fixed all this, suddenly a mail came from school saying today is his graduation, and I'm like, okay, so it's on YouTube.
Of all the days, today.
And it's on YouTube, so we have to catch that link at some stage. So,
I'm just reading one, Roshan, here, like Nilesh rightly said, and he's a sportsman, right, who's now gone there. He's saying learning from failure in sports is part of life. I think that's what most of us are at, right, whether it's events or it's sports more so. When you fall, you get up and run again.
Yeah. Hey, Nilesh, I know this is Nilesh, the cricketer, because I made this mistake. If you remember, I was on a flight, and I have two Nileshs saved. One is Nilesh, who is Sathe's best friend, who used to be in Lufthansa and then another company. And then there is Nilesh, the cricketer. And I would always call Nilesh, the cricketer, and say, "Kya ho raha hai?" You know, and it would be like, hello, you know, and I realized that later. So thank you. Good to see you all here. Hey, Sunil. Sunil was actually one of the guys who worked on the project, if I'm not mistaken. And honestly, to everybody who worked on those projects, it's a different high. But again, planning, and do not try to wing it. You know, last minute there will be a couple of changes, but you know, like, why do we choose to work with certain partners? You know, I mean, again, I remember I'm going to go back and start from F1, because when you know you work with a certain set of people who will deliver something unique, that's what you do. So you choose partners carefully, you plan together, and if you make a mistake in your planning, also admit it. Don't try to get stuck in this, you know, I will kuch kar lenge mentality na.
It will show. It will show. Roshan, in fact, a quick question from my side is that, you know, when we started in events, and this was almost more than 2 decades back, there were no event institutes. And, you know, in the last decade and more, you know, we have friends who have started event institutes. Now, sporting events has become a great, like we spoke about, right? Most of us from conventional events, we had the opportunity to do sporting events. No true sporting event courses exist or institute exists. So, is it essential that you have to specialize in a sporting event course, or regular event managers can kind of adapt and learn by the way?
No, so I think I'm a big one for advocating adaptability, but having spent time now in stadiums and seen the work that goes into it, I really think you require a specialism, because see, there are so many aspects. I'm only talking of ceremonies. There is team management, which is also management, because a team will be doing 100 events and you must clearly know your do's and don'ts. Because I remember once doing an event with Colgate with the entire cricket team, where we had to speak to a certain number of people, and I was the host, and it was being done by us only as an agency. And it was in Kanpur, because the stadium was there. And I went there, and now I'm asking questions, and I'm so prepared with all my questions, and you don't realize that, oh, some of the cricketers were great talkers, some couldn't say a word. Now, what do you do? So if you haven't briefed, if you don't have a team manager, if you don't have someone who tells you, now when I go and, I mean, with the newer teams, they're so hip. They'll tell you exactly, saying, listen, you want a good bite, go to so-and-so, I mean, you've got to know things like that. You've got to know the schedule. You've got to know the room planning. You've got to know when they enter. You need to know what's the exit. Have you got enough bouncers? What's the plan, so that your fan doesn't feel that you thugged them away, but you still kept that distance, because God forbid a sports person gets injured. What do? You know, stadium seating, ticketing, getting people. I mean, it just goes on and on. I mean, I have had friends who told me about kabaddi and said that, you know, when the first kabaddi thing was happening, and they realized that there was a lot of on-ground excitement, but they needed to get people in the stadium. Now, how do you get people in? Even that needs to be managed. I mean, you know, and just creating that excitement, getting people there, and you know, look at what Mantra and Vrijesh now do as hosts for kabaddi, along with many other. I mean, I've seen Kubra and other people also hosting various things, but there is a different level of energy for a sports host.
Absolutely. Based on the sport, based on the formats have changed, right? It's become sportainment as well. It's not just sports anymore, some of them.
I mean, you know the way that the cheerleading piece that happens at IPL, it's a job to do. You don't, I mean, if something is, even if it appears small, the DJ who's playing the vuvuzela, it's incredible. I mean, and I'm saying this is a person who's removed from sport. I'm not there so much. Karan, if you're asking, Sumit, you're absolutely right. I think, you know, I have two questions. One, of course, yes, you definitely need a professional career in events and sports, Karan. You know, so if you really want to do it and you're passionate about a sport, go join an institute. Try to get live experience if you can, and do not try to get live experience of saying, you know, I don't think any job is small, but try to get into the midst of some of the action. I mean, you know, can you be an assistant stage manager? Can you work backstage if you want to look at that part of it? Or otherwise, of course, there are many other roles. Read up. By the way, read up. The internet is filled with this. what Sumit said about safety and planning, I couldn't agree more, Sumit.
More, yeah,
My eyes
that's
opened
true.
when I saw that, that statement on the IPL contract about the safety of the players, saying if you do your show at the end of the show, you can't leave anything there to, to injure any player, and it suddenly struck us majorly. So these things are things you learn over a period of time. Our stadiums, our old stadiums, were not built as stadiums; they were built as, I really feel that they were just places for cattle. Because do you remember? I remember going to a stadium in the 80s and the bathrooms used to be so filthy. You couldn't think, you would have to hold your peace for the course of the match or kahin ghar jaake karo jo karna hai. Because it
Even
was so
now,
dirty.
yeah, even now, I mean,
Even today, except for
right?
the VVIP lounge, where you may be able to perhaps get a semi-decent. And I've seen sports in South Africa because I went for that IPL there. We were working with Ultratech, who were one of the brand sponsors, and so we were doing 4 shows. Oh my goodness, they made the sport a delight. They're doing it in India, it's changing. So I've heard that places like Mohali and other places, if you travel, there are some stadiums that are beautiful. Even DY Patil in its initial phase had all of that.
Was right. And I believe now Ahmedabad has one of the largest capacities coming up for the world, right? So I think infrastructure will play a big role for us.
And infrastructure planning, again, we sometimes build monuments to egos, not monuments to sports. We need to understand that how you construct. When you go and attend a concert abroad, which may sometimes be happening in a stadium, even that is thought through in a very, very special way. So, hey Sukriti, how are you doing? Hey
I, I,
Smriti
I, I,
Madan.
I remember reading a line from Rima for you. Sports. Are you planning any sports IP, Roshan? You've been doing a few in the creative space.
No, 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 Riva. As I said I will be come and support your Pinkathon and say, can we do this? Because I know me, I'm mad about this. But actually, really, it's not. You need people who genuinely. Navneet Mohan was here. Sumit Chandok and basketball. You put basketball and Sumit Chandok together, you will have a great event, whatever happens.
Natural
Right?
flow.
Passion. Sukrit and golf. Yeah. Navneet and hockey, actually, because Navneet, you should have done something with hockey, man. I don't know why you didn't, but you really should have, because you were so
You
good.
should, you should have played for India, right? National. Now you should still.
By the way, he was, if I remember correctly, he was a state level player, and it was because he had an injury that he couldn't play, and hockey's loss encompasses gain to a very large degree.
And for the events business. Now his Lakshya set.
नहीं बिल्कुल बिल्कुल वो तो hey Nawa is there, yeah.
Too many injuries. Yeah.
Too many
now
injuries
he's now he's only working out the arms, Roshan. It's only the arm.
I know he's doing all of that.
Now good to see you here, buddy.
Sandeep, as you asked about the fact of how to develop a good work ethic. I'll tell you what, find good people to work with and you will end up with a good work ethic. Many of us sometimes feel that the easy way is to join someone who possibly you feel that growth hogi. When you ragdo, and again, Navneet is here, so this might end up becoming nostalgic, but Navneet and I often had chats about, this thing about wanting to climb a ladder. Because here, people today want to jump from a ladder to a ladder. They don't want to climb the same ladder if it's tough. Again, there are 6 people ahead of them, let's just jump a ladder. But that's not learning. That is building a profile and salary. Salary hike, 30%, 30%. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You outprice yourself ultimately, and you don't end up with work. You find a lot of that keeps happening to a large degree.
Essentially, you dig in there, right, and keep moving.
Nilu is watching us from another phone. Nilu, the most sporting lady I know, would always have a big smile for us.
Roshan, coming to now it all comes down to the situation, right? We are all now trying to cope up, and of course positively. And you, of all the people, you've been super engaged. I still remember being and doing, right? You're doing both. So considering the current space, whether it's event managers, whether it's students, what do you think should be the action over the next 2 to 6 months in the sporting event space? What do you see and what do you suggest?
So see, today I was on a panel before this. As Navneet said, I go from Zoom to Zoom. So, you used to go from room to room, but now Zoom to Zoom. So what actually happened is that there somebody turned and said something so interesting, Shaju. They said that a football company has put up these mannequins inside a stadium and said if you can't be there, you can still virtually be there. Just buy so you print out your picture and the picture will go onto the seat. Now just imagine that. Now, can you imagine that? Now, a stadium filled with virtual people. What a great idea. Somebody should implement it. Now, it's important to think of these kind of changes because if you can't have an audience, how do you get the feel of a stadium? How do you get the shouting, the screaming? And people are working on it. By the way, many leagues have already cracked it. So now you can press a button on your device while you're watching the match and the cheer will go in the stadium. That's what people are working on. So you'll have to integrate technology to give that feel. That's the big change. Yes, sitting 3 seats away from someone and not being able to do a Mexican wave it'll be a Mexican shave or something.
Mexican shave. So you think the closed stadium format for India should be looked at least for the next 3 to 6 months, like how Bundesliga did? Right?
Frankly, you will have to experiment with all kinds. Remember that a lot of transmission of COVID is also being talked because of air conditioning, because of air circulation. So open stadia, they are saying, are actually perhaps open up spaces are good spaces, but social distancing will create a problem and all this will happen. So at some level, I think it is important to find a midway to it. What Navneet said, about so many sports, yes, you're right. I don't think you can teach stadium management. You can teach how we taught people how to do an event in a conference room and then we taught them how to do it in a stadium. It's the same thing. Managing a small league versus a big league. I think the rules will fundamentally remain the same. And nobody's saying teach them the skill of sports. Teach them the skill of sports management, how to get sponsorship, how to manage a team, how to manage a roster, how to plan appearances, what not to plan, how much to do, how to fit the schedule of a player, how much time should be actually put into it, how does pricing happen, even things like, when I read about this coach exchange and this exchange and player exchange, I don't know how that happens. It would be amazing to know.
In fact, I think Roshan, that's where ISM and Nilesh and his team are putting together curriculum, and I'm kind of been in discussions. It's not just going to be classroom. It's going to be a fair balance of classroom and practical training. And a lot of, because ISM has been running for a decade now, it's actually their 10th year. And they've been working very closely with the government, with FICCI. They've been part of the Khelo India games as well, both the national as well as the youth games and all. So a lot of students are getting on ground.
It's at 6:57, so in 3 minutes this will switch off automatically. So we should be saying our byes soon.
Oh, otherwise, okay. Thank you. See, I told you you're more experienced than me on this front, right? So if we are almost there, Roshan, I think we'll need a season 2 or an episode 2 for you, right?
नहीं, कहानियां सुनने के लिए मैं हमेशा हूँ. अकल बांटने के लिए यहाँ पर sports में, I must tell everyone there, guys, I came here because Shaju said we'll talk of ceremonies. Otherwise, sports management is such a diverse field. You should be speaking to people like Rima who run the Pinkathon, or even a Vivek who does something.
Procam,
who does Mud Rush,
IMG.
And Nilesh will be able to bring these people, and so will Shaju. So honestly, I think this is going to be a great venture.
So Roshan, the idea is that every Friday we're going to bring in personalities like what you mentioned, right? From sporting event companies who manage sports to sporting agents, right? Like Bunty who manages Virat Kohli, or even personalities or commentators, production. I'm planning to get Lydia as well from a broadcast point. So there's going to be a lot of action over the next few weeks. And I hope you'll be tuned in as well.
By the way, also, we had Ranveer Alabadi who's here. And Ranveer, I'm going to be interviewing you soon, so you know what I'm going to say. So he's saying fun things for us.
So how much more time do you have, Roshan? Because I like you are better at this. We are almost there.
6:58, you have exactly a minute and a half. So let's take one last
thank you.
question.
So thank you very much, Roshan. Unless there's a last question, I don't know. Unless you want to come back, and should we continue this for another 10 minutes?
I can't because my son's graduation is happening. I will be shot dead.
No. Of course. We've done this. See, like you said, right? This can go on and on. But Roshan, truly, on behalf of ISM, Nilesh, Rasik, and the entire team, and of course from me, thank you so much for joining us. Our debut episode couldn't have been more brighter.
For my friend Shaju, anytime, any day, and of course for Nilesh and everyone else there. But really, Shaju's always been such a dear friend that I couldn't have said no, and I was just hoping I'll be worthwhile. कि कुछ sense बोल सकूं, because I was like, this is not my core, but yeah, the ceremonies we've done enough. I can tell you enough, and thank you once again. Thanks, Shaju.
Thanks for the Roshan. हमने ignite कर लिया साथ में. See you, and listen, love to the family. Happy Eid from all of us.
Thank you.
May the celebration continue. Bye bye. Thanks, Roshan.
Cheers.
Okay, guys. I think, like Roshan said, we are almost there, and this was my first attempt at an Insta session like this. Thanks to every one of you for joining in. This is just the beginning of Sport On series. Sumit, Karan, Vibhav, thank you very much. Sumit Chandoke, Rakshit, thank you guys. Nava, thank you. Shushma, Rima, a lot of friends came in. Thank you, Dipali. Rasika, Nilesh, this is just the beginning. We have a way long ahead to go. So look forward to the next Friday. We're going to come up with one more episode. The next episode, another interesting personality coming up. We will announce about that very soon, early next week. Until then, stay sporty, stay happy, and stay safe wherever you are. God bless you all, and I shall see you next Friday again. Good night.